All right, let's do this. Whew. Hello, everybody. We're live. We're doing a thing. It's Calm and Fury. Back again on another Sunday. A little later than usual, but you know, it happens. My bad. Angel is also eating, but that's besides the point.
Nope, don't even. Don't even.
All right, and look, we already have another technical difficulty. If you are joining in through my streams, I started like 15 times, and I apologize, because we're doing something new today. We are, instead of using OBS connected to XSplit, linked together to send out the stream to you guys through Restream and everything else, we're killing the Restream. We're doing everything through XSplit today. So we're going, I was going to stream to YouTube, but I'm not going to deal with that right now. We're just going to do the standard Twitch, Mixer, and Twitch on for Angel. And yeah, we're in it. We're doing it. Angel, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. Got everything done I was supposed to get done last night before the stream, even though probably should have been able to start on time because... But we'll get into why I didn't do anything last night soon enough.
Okay, player.
But yeah, what's on the docket today? What did you do this week?
I got demolished in Bloodborne until I was no longer being demolished in Bloodborne. And then I was reminded that I'm not as good as I thought I was, because that's how Bloodborne is. But that basically took a majority of my time. I really didn't play anything else until Friday when I jumped on to Minecraft Dungeons, and then I had a little Destiny sprinkled in there too. So that's pretty much it in terms of games. I didn't beat it. I haven't beaten anything in a while. That Bloodborne's taking too long, man. Messing me up.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really stream that much either this week, actually, now that I think about it. I did do some, what do you call it? I played a little Wander Song. It started to get to a point where I was like, I don't think this game's going to be as good as I thought it was. But it came back around, because it was like kind of getting repetitive. And then as soon as it got like started feeling repetitive, the game kind of changed. I'm not going to say how or why or what, but it changed. And I'm back a little bit more invested again. I haven't really got a chance to get back into it once that change happened, but we'll see what happens in the coming days as we get back into it and do that. I also played. You asked on your stream the other day, like some of the best games you've ever played, and I mentioned Hidden in Plain Sight, which is a little indie game. Yep. I managed to play that Friday night. I did a 1v1 with a streaming friend on Twitch. Goes by Claire Boo. Shout out. Check her out on Twitch. Yeah, she has this like setup with her, what do you call them? The channel points, where if you spend this amount of points, one of the things is like a 1v1 with the streamer. I'm like, okay, I'm going to try this out and see what happens. I'm going to test out your little button here. So we did a 1v1 in Hidden in Plain Sight. I tried to pick a game that I wouldn't just like stomp her or anyone in, because it's really basic. It's really easy to understand. You needed a couple rounds to jump into it and get going and play, and then you start getting accustomed to like the meta, and then you start coming up with your strategies and changing it up. I should be throwing some of the gameplay on the screen right now, but you know, we're still working on this. In fact, graphics just broke. There we go. Okay, so we got that. What we've been playing. But yeah, let me grab some Hidden in Plain Sight footage here, even though it's not going to really make any sense. That's the problem with Hidden in Plain Sight, is like when you're trying to present it to people, is that you can't really like just show them a video. You have to get them to sit down with a controller and play it. And then the problem with that is it's not an online game. It's a local multiplayer game only. So
wait, so hold on. So you did a 1v1 with another streamer?
Yes. What's
for a
the problem
local
here?
game only. So you were hanging out with her, is what you're saying?
No, that's not what happened. So
What? What player?
I worked on a little thing because I've always wanted to play this game. I needed a way to play it. It's
Okay.
online only. So I found this website called, or this program called Parsec. And what it does is it's essentially like a remote access for a computer. And you just provide the information to people to connect to you. But it has a lower latency than most things. So it's easier to hop on and play with people. So, and then they have like this whole, it's built for gaming. So they have a section where like you can make your game public, whatever you're playing, and put it in the arcade, and then people can hop in, which we did later in the night. Like we opened it up, and some random person like instantly, like without even like waiting a second, we're just hopping in and trying to play. It was crazy. It was kind of cool. But here's the game. This is Death Race, one of my favorite modes, and this is the Achievement Hunter video. Hopefully we don't get sued for putting their video. But so the point of this game, or this game mode, is each individual who's playing is somebody in the crowd. Can you see my, let me see if you can see my cursor. You cannot see my cursor. Thanks, XSplit. What's up, Decisive? Saying hello to everybody that I did say hello to. And no, not a girl. I mean, she is a girl, but that's beside the point. Anyway, so yeah. So each individual is a person in that group, but you don't know who you are, and the other person doesn't know who they are. The only thing you know is that you're this cursor, you're this reticle, and you have one shot, depending on the rules of the game. You can have more shots, but it makes it more tense with one shot, because you only get one shot to take out the other person, and if you miss, then they can just sprint across the map. But the first part of the game is you trying to figure out who you are. So you move, but you try to move enough to where you know you're you, but the other person doesn't know you're you. And then, and then once you figure out who you are, then you got to figure out who they are. And you kind of look for like little subtleties. Like sometimes people will twitch, or somebody will like say something. Like I think this is a part in the game where someone's like, "Hey, who's this person next to me?" And then you realize like if that's you moving next to somebody else that's moving, then you're like, "Oh, that's them. I better take my shot." And then you pop them and and then you run for the win.
Huh. Like that, huh?
Yeah, I timed that perfectly. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. I'm gonna try to do some more streams with it. I want people to hop in, download Parsec. You got to add me as a friend, and yeah, we'll get some games going. Or even I'll put it in the arcade, and you can jump in through there. I really want to play. I want to get Angel on this game. I would love to see Angel play this game, but we'll see. Yeah. What was the other game we were going to talk about? Are you okay? You're not moving. What happened? Oh, God. What happened to Angel? He's just frozen. I don't know what happened. Let me call him really fast, see if I can figure out what's going on. Oh, no, his power went out, I think. Yeah, power outage. Wonderful. It's just it's a wonderful day to stream, you know? And I don't have my single setup, so. Yeah. Well, we're just going to leave Angel there. Just awkwardly leave Angel there. Until he can come back. He's here in spirit, exactly. It's so weird that, oh, there he goes. Okay, let me hide that so it's just not like awkwardly sitting there. Yeah, he just bailed. All right, well, it's a good thing I can see both streams. It's weird that I'm now streaming on Angel's stream and he's not on his stream. It's a very strange coincidence. So for now, I'm just going to stretch this out, make it look like I'm, oh, too much. I'll just do this, make it, that should be fine. Okay. Hello, everybody. Yeah, this is just the calm now. The calm before the storm. Actually, the calm during the storm. Let me reference our notes here, see if I can talk about some stuff while we wait for Angel to come back. So this week, is Blue Cheese still here? I've been the Fury a couple times. I don't think there's Fury today. Not for me. Like, try to act as both. How can I do that? This will be interesting. You have a box next to you? No, that's my computer screen. I just extended it out to make it look more natural. So I could be in the center of the screen and have more stuff, but that's my computer monitor. So we were talking about adventures of YourFace. You wanted to know what's been going on. I haven't talked to anybody in person, really. I had a scenario happen at work. So there's so I'll just tell that part. All right. So there's this cute girl at work. I've seen her around before. I've never had the opportunity to talk to her, okay? So I work in IT support, and she works in some other department. I was trying not to like give away too much information, but that's plenty of information. Before the pandemic, where there was like, I was on this floor, she was on this floor, so we never like crossed paths really, except like one time in the elevator, and then a couple times at some like events for the company. But I never spoke to her. So I'm doing my job, just working along, and we get emails, our group gets emails into our inbox. So I see like her name, and I see that she has a problem. So I'm like, I'm gonna help her out with this. Have a chance to like actually talk to somebody. So grabbed the email, called her on the Teams, and we chatted up as I was helping her with her problem. Oh yeah. I did not hang out with anybody, unfortunately. You like where this is going? Okay. Yeah, so I was helping her with the problem. We're having a good time. Well, not as much of a good time as you can have with somebody's IT support problem, but I was making some jokes, whatever. We were getting comfortable with each other, or whatever I would say, like, where you kind of get a feel for somebody. I helped her with her problem though, and had to let her go because we both had to go back to work. But I'm like, okay, we planted the seed. We're gonna see what happens next time, if there's ever a next time. But since it's a work potential relationship, I'm not gonna like move in quickly. Now this is 2 weeks ago, so this week, once again, I was like, oh, this is probably never gonna happen in any near future. But come Tuesday or something, we got an email from her again. So I'm like, okay, I'll help her out again. Yeah, I initiated, sure, but that's part of work. I kind of am forced to initiate, but I initiated with somebody of interest, so that kind of counts, right? Right. But yeah, Tuesday hit. We got another email from her. She had another problem. So I'm like, okay, hop on the email, hit her up in the Teams, and be like, yo, what's up? She's like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm having this issue again, or this other issue. I believe somebody helped me with it before. I'm like, oh no. She forgot me, but I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. I'll help you with the issue. But yeah, so I helped her with the issue. It kind of went along the same way as before, except like I heard her dog in the background. So I'm like, is that a dog? And she's like, yeah. And so we kind of talked about her dog. After helping her with the issue, I let her go. And I go back to work. And as I'm working, just doing whatever I do, she didn't want to seem too excited. You were helping again? Okay. Well, anyway, as I was working, I'm just doing whatever. I got a message from her. I'm like, that's odd. So I opened the message, and it was something along the lines of, have you ever had this issue where you like get a call from somebody and they have this like crazy name, but they expect you to know how to spell it immediately? And I'm like, I have in fact had that issue many times. In fact, I was just talking to somebody about it the other day. And so we started a little conversation in the Teams chat, just chatting back and forth about this issue. And then it got to like a point where it stopped, and I'm like, okay, that's fine, whatever. We started, we started chatting outside of like the work environment about, you know, people things. So I was like, okay, we're on a good roll here. So I'm like, you know what? I need to do some investigatory journalism on this chick because I don't really know anything about her. At this point I got her first name and her last name. Let me look her up on the Instagrams. So it was because you groomed up to see her and she didn't recognize you. No, we've always had our camera off anytime we've interacted, even though we were supposed to have our cameras on, but it's whatever. I look like crap during work. But yeah, investigatory journalism, Instagram. I look her up by her name and I'm like, okay, let's see if I can find her. So I found a picture of her and I'm going, just quick scroll, you know, everybody does it. It's not creepy unless you like do, you know the point when it gets creepy. But anyway, I'm going through, I'm like, oh, there's a picture of this dude and oh, it's her fiance and oh, she's getting married in 100 days. Oh, crap. So once again, I somehow, some way find the one, or get attracted to the one girl that's either married, has a fiance, or I get some sort of interest in them. And before I can make my move, they somehow get into a relationship with somebody and then end up getting married to them. It seems to always happen that way. But, you know, it's not too bad. I gotta maybe have a new friend. We'll see. But yeah, that was my homework. Changed your mind. You didn't like where this was going. Yeah, it happens. It's happened so many times. I've kind of gotten used to it. But yeah, that was my homework. It still doesn't count, I don't think, but we'll see. It kind of counts. Oh shoot. It wasn't that bad. I mean, no, of course not. We were still in like the initial phase of communication. What sucks is when it's like later down the line, then you're like, crap. What else we got that I can talk about? Because Angel does have some topics. He wanted to talk about Minecraft Dungeons, and my green screen is screwing up again, which makes no sense. I mean, I could actually. I'd lose the ability to. Well, he can call in. He can video chat in through Discord if he needed to. I'm gonna see how much data he has. And I just got really hungry for no reason. Yeah, it's kind of hard to really talk about anything else without Angel, you know. It is the Calm and Fury podcast. We need both sides. I don't know. You guys throw some topics at me, and we'll do some time killing while we figure out what we can do with Angel. Ugh. I guess I can, since it's really my topic, we'll talk about, while you guys are coming up with questions and stuff, we'll talk about my meat and potatoes subject of the week, which is a website. Well, not a website, but kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like it's basically lost media. And so yesterday I was supposed to be working on the podcast. By the way, every episode of the Common Fury podcast is now live on YouTube for your viewing pleasure. What is my favorite bridge? That's a dam for sure. I don't know. Man, what is my favorite bridge? See, I don't really go across many bridges. You kind of got to, like, I guess you got to throw it like maybe the Golden Gate Bridge or the Brooklyn Bridge just because of history. But Oh yeah, I guess I could drop a link. You're right, Decisive. I mean, it is in the Discord. You could always find it there in the Common Fury chat. But I'll grab that link really fast. So another reason why we switched over to using XSplit again is because I've been having a lot of issues with Restream and kind of like the quality of what's being output. Because once I get the video back, it's like there's parts where it'll like get all messed up. I don't know what the proper term is off the top of my head right now because I'm trying to read and chat with you guys at the same time. My brain can't do that. And it just broke something. Cool. God damn it. Well, that was the icebreaker I had anyone. that was your best attempt. What was I about to show you? I'll just go to the site. That is not the site. But yeah, so I was looking at Lost Media, and I kind of had this like, I've always had things that I've always wanted to look up or find. Like there's this old Nintendo 64 VHS that I used to have when I was a kid. And I somehow lost it over time. And it kind of had like different video clips of different games like Legend of Zelda and stuff like that. And I just like vividly remember watching the tape over and over again, and like the music and kind of like just the way they presented games and the atmosphere of them. It's kind of burned into my mind. I've always wanted to find that again, but yeah, that kind of got me down this road. That and then a training video for Cinemark, because I used to work at Cinemark, movie theaters, whatever. And I was in, like, as a background character, one of the training videos. Up until, like, when I started working there, so, like, 2008, 2009, they had been using the same training videos at Cinemark for, like, 25 years or so. Let me look it up really fast. And a lot of it's been deleted, but people have found it and thrown it back on the internet. And that's kind of another thing that just got me into this, like, this lost media deep dive, is like finding old stuff that people don't really care for anymore, but me being a weirdo, I care for it. So, and funny story about this original, like, training video. This was filmed at the movie theater I worked at before I worked there, back in like late 80s, early 90s. And they'd been using these clips, or they'd been using these training videos for 20 odd years. I even watched it. So they eventually thought, okay, we're gonna make new ones. And they recruited us, I don't know why. I guess because we were our theater was in the original one. Funny story, this actually happened to me, essentially. Manager walked up while I was horse playing at these exact sinks with a former friend of mine. And then he just walked up, we got ridden up. Oh, I hear something. I think Angel's back.
Hello.
Okay, I hear voices. What's up, Angel?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Do you have video up? Or no?
No. I'm trying to figure that out now.
Okay. Just let me know, and I'll get you back in.
It's not connected to anything.
You know that Cinemark doesn't endorse.
You're worried about getting shocked?
I personally don't want to see you get hurt. You two got the scullery floor so wet on sides.
But so yeah, so our theater was recruited to go to a new theater that got built a little bit down the road from this theater, and they're like, we're gonna shoot our new training video there. I wish I did the voiceover. I need to get into some voiceover. Damn. No, that's not me.
Let's see. Can you guys see me?
Hold on, let me see if I can see you. And then I'll bring you in. Okay, I see you. Just chill out, and I'll put you back on the stream.
Can they hear me, at least?
Yes, you are.
What? They don't need to see me. Whatever, man. You the man. You the face.
No, we got you here. We might as well get you here. All right, look at that. Angel's back from the grave. Unfortunately, he
Wonder if I
can't
could do-
read chat or anything, but he can talk.
Yeah, I was wondering if I could do like a picture-in-picture thing. Can you guys still see me? No.
You could probably do that with Twitch. Oh, you can't look at the chat. You just be able to see the stream. But if you open up the stream in Twitch and then minimized it, and then pulled up the Discord app, you should be able to view and then stream at the same time. It might work. It might not work. But,
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that. But I hopped into one of the meat and potatoes topics of the lost media stuff.
Okay.
And I was just kind of talking about the origins of like how I got stuck down this rabbit hole last night. And basically, a piece of media I've been looking for a long time is, a few years now, is the old training videos for Cinemark when I used to work there. The originals and then the new ones we did when I worked there. They recruited us to do some, what do you call it? They recruited us as like background characters for the new videos that came out in like 2010. And then, but I got, let's just say I got fired in 2009 from some of this horseplay stuff from this video that I mentioned. So they came out with it and like started showing people about 2010. I never got an opportunity to get a copy of it because I didn't work there anymore. And I kind of thought somebody would upload it to the internet eventually, but never happened. So it's kind of just been lost. And as far as I know, I knew some managers that still worked there a few years afterwards, and they said they like made new videos and got rid of the old one, or the ones that we shot. So I'm like, okay, maybe someone can help me find them on the internet. So I started looking around and I found this website, which is Lost Media Wiki, and it has a bunch of different kind of lost media from like audio, film, internet media, video games, just random assortments of stuff that people have, things that have been lost over time and people are trying to find it. Like, 1 versus 100, an old Xbox Live game that's inaccessible now, but it was ahead of its time, an interesting moment in the history of gaming. So, yeah, that's kind of what I was doing. I found, like a few years back, I found out that they finally found like the lost audio for Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, like the original Japanese audio. Well, as close as they can to the Masters, because the Masters got destroyed. But then people were like, "Oh, we need to find like the best quality audio so we bring it back and resync it, and then have like the best possible version of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z." So for years, people were looking for that, and a couple years ago, it was last year, end of last year, early this year, people like finally compiled all the episodes of both series and then threw them up on the Internet Archive. So that was a cool thing to finally figure out. And like I was watching some of those episodes. Angel, you kind of went down a little rabbit hole yourself, as I heard while I was setting up today. What did you come across that interested you?
Man, I don't know what was happening. Just playing some Destiny, and then a part of a jingle came in my head. And I believe the jingle, at least when I first started saying it, was from something during the 90s. One of the shows from a time called TGIF Friday, where they would have like this block of time that was just filled with family movies or comedy or something to that effect. So I was trying to figure out where the jingle came from. And it turned out that I was singing words for one jingle to the melody of another opening theme. It was just a hot mess. So I think we ended up looking at 4 different 90s sitcoms, family-themed sitcoms, to try and piece together where this jingle came from. So it was a mess. It was a mess.
To be
But
fair,
we figured it out.
I figured it out instantly, and then nobody wanted to believe me.
Nope, I had to hear it because I was like, no. Turns out I did it. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna file it under the Mandela effect. That's what it was.
This is the human
That's what it
foot. The
was.
human's foot. What the hell is this? What does this have to do with?
From the human nose.
So I pulled up a TGIF like
You can learn
promo
something on
thing,
TV.
and then it just started talking about feet. So I'm kind of
I mean, that might be
Confused.
something that people enjoy on a Friday anyway, right?
I mean, sure. Funny enough, you were making jokes on one of your last streams about talking about feet, and we're talking about feet on the Common Fury podcast.
That's funny. The universe is cyclical. Maybe that's why.
But yeah, it's kind of stuff like that where you remember something, and then you try to find it. But as vast as the internet is, it's still so limited as to like what you want to find and what you're looking for. And then like some of the the obscure things are just kind of lost to time. And that's the hook that gets you in. You start like digging deep into these websites. Oh yeah. Also, I was like watching back one of our podcasts while I was doing this because I was trying to like get those up on YouTube. And I was fact checking something I said about the Owen Hart accident that happened. And so I was like, let me look this up because I want to make sure like I was correct in saying what I said about how like the WWE has like the only copy left of what happened. And that got me. That's how I found this website, the Lost Media Wiki, and it kind of like updates. Why am I showing that? It kind of updates. Somebody updates it to like show. Oh, here it is. I was getting lost. The status on like these media or pieces of media that have been lost. So like I was talking about the Owen Hart tape. So lost death footage of professional wrestler 1999. So then it has a status of lost, and it kind of gives like a brief description. And by no means is this like definitive of anything, but it's nice to have like a compendium of some stuff that you can just be like that maybe somebody else thought about, and they describe it, what happened, how maybe the footage was lost, and stuff like that. Speaking of which, I didn't know like the draws like accident was like also like in the same category as the Owen Hart thing. Like they took that video and then they like locked it down as well in the same way. But
when he was power bombed by DJ, was it DJ Brown or something like that?
D'Lo Brown, yeah.
D'Lo Brown.
But yeah, like it's been locked down as well. But they use like some of the footage in an old like kind of like PSA that the WWE would run. It's like, don't try this at home, and they like use like a second of the clip of him being like lifted up in the stretcher for some reason. But they locked down the rest. I mean, they had the rest of the video locked down, but they used that part. It was odd. I came across that.
Yeah, that turned him into a quadriplegic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. After that, that was pretty sad because I only heard about that when I was doing, it was Behind the Ring or one of those things, and it was talking about how the damage that people were sustaining.
Yeah.
You guys hear the beeping in the background? All the power went out here. That's why I said some electronics are pretty upset.
All right. I mean, Decisive said accident with a question mark, and he mentioned that it was after Brett left. And that is a kind of a conspiracy theory with the Owen Hart thing.
Yes, that is a conspiracy theory.
It's
that is
more
correct.
malpractice versus conspiracy. It's just people being lazy and not taking into account that someone's life was in danger, or because they are suspended from in the air, like I don't know, 100 feet. I don't know how.
100 feet.
But yeah, that was the issue. I mean, that's what really happened there. Unfortunately, it was no revenge. Blue cheese. Could this be considered the Mandela effect? Oh, you and your song.
Yeah. They're
No, that's not what happened.
I want to do like a conspiracy theory, just chatting one day. We talk about that. Mandela effect. It's possible, right? It's possible if we shifted timelines, if that's the thing. It's theoretically possible. The physicists will talk about that.
I'm gonna show people our notes
yeah,
again really fast.
that's essentially what it would be, the Mandela effect. So like if you remember something being a certain way, and then the truth of it now is different. For instance, when people think of the Statue of Liberty, right? Everyone thinks that the Statue of Liberty is on Ellis Island, which was the main point of immigration in New York. However, apparently it's not. It's on a small island called Liberty Island. So I just found that out 2 weeks ago, perhaps.
Yeah, I found that out when I was playing Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was like, that's not right. It's on Ellis Island. So
I was,
Mandela effect.
I was trying to swing to the Statue of Liberty, not happening. The game said no.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't let you. I tried to swing out and land on a boat. They won't let you do that either.
Yeah, but speaking of the Mandela effect, I don't know. I kind of out on the idea of the occurrence of it. I think it's just kind of like a thing people use now as an excuse to like not want to remember something correctly. Because you're trying to remember something and then you're wrong, and then people just don't want to be wrong. So they're like, Mandela effect, it happened. I'm not crazy.
I mean, that's true. If it's a singular thing, then it's very easy to believe it to be just a misunderstanding, or you're remembering it correctly. But what allows something to qualify under the Mandela effect is that if a lot of people remember the same situation the same way, and it contradicts what seems to be true now.
Nah.
So that,
people are just
like this specific.
Humans are dumb. That's why. Always go with the simplest explanation, and humans are dumb.
Yeah. But that one, it's possible. There's definitely possibilities.
I mean,
because they're very specific.
Yeah.
Very
like
specific.
Berenstein Bears, whatever. I mean, that was like one of my first introductions into it, but I can see how like me being a dumb child, not actually reading what the book said.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a lot of stuff too, but Looney Tunes, how Looney Tunes was spelt, Fruit of the Loom, the way that was spelled, Skechers is different. The spelling on Skechers. Like I said, the Statue of Liberty thing not being on Ellis Island and it actually being on Liberty Island.
Skechers, I think that goes more of what I was saying, because as soon as I saw it, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, in my head, I thought there was a T there, but when I saw the logo, I'm like, that makes sense. There's no reason. There's no place for a T there. I'm just saying. That's me.
Maybe. I don't know. But for those who are curious, what essentially is the Mandela effect has to go back to the idea that many people thought that Mandela actually passed away in the 80s, but he didn't, apparently.
But he didn't.
I think he ended up dying much later than that.
Yeah.
So, and then it became a big thing because there were the amount of people who thought that he had passed away during the 80s. And then there was another one about Sinbad playing in a movie called, was it Shazam?
No, it was Shaq in a movie, right? That's what Blue Cheese has brought up. Or no, maybe no.
Yeah, but it was Sinbad actually.
Oh well.
So Sinbad was the original actor who had played in a genie movie, and this one caught my attention because I remembered it as well. The only thing I can't remember is if it was a movie or a pilot for like a Nickelodeon show or something like that. But I didn't do any research. But that was another big one, and that's the one that Blue Cheese is talking about. Sinbad playing in a movie. Yeah, a genie movie. That's what it was. But I think now it was Shaq who ended up playing it in the theoretical timeline.
Theoretical.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? It's crazy. But now we're going down a rabbit hole of nerdness.
That was guaranteed to happen with this topic. That's for sure.
Yeah. So there's how a lot of this started, right? This is I shouldn't say started, but where it really started to pick up speed was in 2020 when they were talking about the change, right? Like a change in consciousness or a change in something, the end of the world or the end of something and the beginning of something new, right? The whole Mayan calendar. So there are some theorists, astrophysicists who have this intellectual exercise, and they were thinking that what is it called? Is it called the Hadron Collider, where they were colliding atoms in the search for the God particle?
I believe so, yeah.
So what they were thinking was that because in 2012 they did have the test. I think it was collided two atoms in search of the God particle, and there was a theory that if they were to do that, then it would theoretically create a black hole at the center of our galaxy, and in essence swallow up the timeline, right? Because there's this thing with mass affecting gravity affecting time and things of that nature. So then it went into this whole thing, like if we were sucked into a black hole, how would we know? And then some people also were saying, well, maybe since the multiverse is a thing where all things that happen, have happened, will happen, and do happen concurrently in infinitum, that maybe we just jump timelines because one was destroyed. Cue X-Files themes.
You know, I should have been ready. And I was just thinking about being ready for this too. Damn it.
It's a thought exercise, but that's where the Mandela effect also goes into that. So they were saying, you know, perhaps that's the reason why people's memories are only up to a certain point, or are very clear up to a certain point, or remember certain things, but there are small changes which would absolutely happen in a different universe.
Yeah, you know, speaking of
thought exercises,
multiple universes, I came across a thing. Let me turn this off. We'll turn it back on when it gets more interesting. I had this subject that I wanted to bring up, but I didn't think it was big enough for the podcast, so it's a good place to throw it in now. But I was looking at Mario 64 speed runs, and I kind of went in a deep dive in that one day, and just kind of the understanding of like how people are manipulating the game to like zip across the map at like insane speeds, and the understanding of like glitches that allow people to get certain places. Because in the past I've done your face and his transitions. In the past, I did like a little meddling with the Mario 64 speedrun and doing like a 16-star run, but not like where I was trying to get it down as fast as possible, but just like running through the game, beating it with only 16 stars. So I understood some of the glitches. I just didn't understand how they worked. So I started looking into that, and I don't know. I still can't believe this. And maybe I should bring up the video. Well, no, it's impossible to even like. But apparently, the way Mario 64 was constructed, things happen in multiple Mario dimensions at once while you're playing the game, and the game processes that, and so the game checks in 4 different dimensions essentially that you are in a spot that you're supposed to be in, and if in one of those checks, and this is like 4 times per frame or something, and if one of those checks comes back as an error, like you're standing in a wall instead of standing on the ground, it'll like kick you back to where you were before. And I'm gonna pull this up just so you can see what I'm talking about.
Well, I can't see anything.
Well, okay, obviously.
So you got to work on your communication skills right now.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm pulling this up.
Explain what you mean.
Glitches explain, because this is like a few weeks ago. It's a long video. Is this it? Okay, here it is.
Super Mario 64.
All right.
The worst.
What do you mean?
Oh man, it's gonna get hot.
Yeah, he got hit by a power outage, so we got him on the ghetto setup right now.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so here's the video. If anyone's curious and wants to check it out, Mario 64 told us this is a speed run, world record explained. So it was explaining how like someone could beat the game with no stars. And let me see. So I'm going to try to do this like the fast version so we can get back to our topic, because this is like a 40-minute video on how to do like each individual glitch to be able to beat the game without any stars. So essentially there's like the technique in the game where you like can jump backwards. And in the game, like if you move forward, there's a max speed of how fast you can move forward. but people found out that you can move at an infinite amount of speed when you move backwards. And the way the game interprets that is a positive number is moving forward and a negative number is you moving backwards. And the negative number can be infinitely any number. So people started figuring out how to use the game to allow them to move faster. So that's where those checks come in, is if the game checks and sees you running into a wall, if you're moving backwards instead of a safe place to land, then it'll keep you in your original spot, but it'll store that speed. And those checks are performed. Let me see if I can find this diagram that they have in here. Here we go. So these checks are apparently performed. This is actually perfect right here. In different parallel universes of the game. So you're trying to move enough times to make sure that and you have to move in that fourth step, you have to be in a safe spot or the game won't interpret you in that spot, and then you get set back to where you were. So you have to keep doing this over and over again until your parallel self is in a safe spot for your in reality character to move to that spot, and then the game moves you to that spot at the speed of however fast you're moving, which could be I can't even fathom a number that would be explainable, but really, really fast is a layman's term.
Yeah, I'm tracking.
So I guess whenever you see this video later, you'll see what I'm talking about with pictures. But yeah, there's actual view. There's they set it up where there's an actual view, then a relative theoretical view of where you might be, and then there's the parallel universe map where there's all these parallel universes and how you move into that spot, and then the relative map where you are and then the spot you're trying to get to. It's an interesting watch. I would definitely check it out if you're interested in speedrunning and any stuff like that. What's up, Lowell? I don't know who you're talking about when it comes to 5-head, but we both got some big foreheads.
It's all angles, man. It's angles. Here, let me fix this. It's angles. Sucks.
Alrighty. But what were we talking about? Conspiracy theories.
Yeah, we were talking about then. So when we talk about, hold on, I'm trying to set this up a little bit. You guys might see a bunch of stuff that my grandma has here. Just know that your house is not as dope as grandma's. Better get in a better position here. Yeah, so when you bring up speedrunning, I put it into two categories, right? Legitimate speedrunning and breaking the game speedrunning. So anytime somebody uses a glitch, even though people will count it as being a legitimate speedrun, I don't, because that's not the way that the game was designed to be played, right? So when you have people clipping into walls or anything like that and taking advantage of frame rates and glitching, and I don't like that. I don't give much credit to that. But the guys who play the game and then they use the in-game setups, that's different. So if you watch the Ninja Gaiden runs, those speed runs, they're not clipping into walls or anything like that. They're doing it's actually quite legit how they do their stuff. So the same thing as you're talking about gaining more speed, bouncing in a different direction. I think that's pretty cool. So guys will intentionally get hit in order to jump over certain areas, but that's using the way that the game was designed rather than breaking the code itself. If that makes sense.
I would say that's still breaking the code to a degree, because you shouldn't be able to either move that fast or get through that wall or something. Or get past that area without that ability to get hit and take advantage of invincibility frames or the speed. I think it's all the same. It's just to the degrees that you've seen. That's a minimal degree, and then what I just tried to explain is the extreme degree where they have the game pulled up, or they've had the game pulled up on their computer and found values and speed values and how they're affected and what affects them and stuff like that.
Yeah, the tool-assisted playthroughs.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm tracking.
But those don't count, obviously, for obvious reasons. But
yeah.
People still can, I believe, use glitches and stuff like that to beat games.
Mhm.
I don't have a problem with it. If you're not using some external application or machine or something or a Game Shark, if you're playing by the way the game presented the rules to you, and you're able to break something, I think that's fair. I would call that fair game. But that's just me. It's interesting that we got on this topic from Lost Media.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because we're talking about parallel dimensions and everything else, and the way that you're able to break some things and shift.
Oh yeah. But I guess we can.
Grandma, I'm doing the show. If you want to come say hello, come on on. That's what I'm doing here. Because I'm not in the room, so I'm just because it's too dark.
You're talking to your phone now, and she thinks you're crazy. Well, she already thought you were crazy.
She already thinks I'm weird, so it's all good. We're good. Just adding more fuel.
Lowell, to answer your text that you just sent me, we're probably gonna cut this one short today.
Oh, you want to see?
Because of technical issues, as you can see. Hi, Grandma.
See there.
She can actually see me now.
People here. So there are people here that I'm talking to on my channel, and I'm talking to my friend Eric, and he has people. It's all nerd stuff.
She's like, nah, I'm out.
They say hello, Grandma.
What's up, Faraday?
She's
Thank you
adorable.
for the sparks. What was I saying?
Yes, it is a China cabinet.
Oh, you are able to see the chat. Nice.
I can only see the one on for mine.
That's fine. Yeah, I can relay anything I see. But yeah, since I got you, and this is one of your favorite movies, let's talk a little Bloodsport. Since I did.
Oh my gosh!
Like I said on Sunday, I told you I watched some Bloodsport, and I watched some Bloodsport immediately after the podcast. I made my
one of
pizza,
the greatest movies ever made.
Sat down, and I watched some Bloodsport.
Oh yeah. Tell me what you think, brother. I'm curious.
But, oops, that's the wrong one. But in regards to that, we were talking about how it was free on YouTube with both ads, but if you got ad blocker, don't even matter. Don't even matter. No ads, easy money. But yeah, Bloodsport. First off, on YouTube, it was like 480p or something. I was kind of disappointed. I'm like, that's whack. But the movie still looked amazing. I mean, it's kind of hard to hate this movie. It goes straight to the formula of like action, martial arts movies. You got your Japanese sensei teaching Jean-Claude Van Damme, and I mean, it's not trying to be like the greatest movie ever made, but it's fantastic. I loved it. I loved.
But it is.
I loved Jackson, good old Texas boy.
Yeah. Such an American.
The movie's just fun. I loved it. There's one thing. Of course, unfortunately, they had the black guy fighting like a monkey. That was kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, so I didn't realize that until my daughter pointed it out. Because I was like, no, there are Shaolin monks. That is an actual martial arts style.
Yes, but
I didn't catch that until my daughter pointed it out. And then I was like,
But it was awesome. I loved it. I looking at these guys fight, I'm like, nah, I got to work out. So I did start working out this past week. I'm like, I got to get in Bloodsport shape. I'm not going to be doing no splits.
Well,
that looked painful. I don't know if I would ever want or even be able to do that.
I tell you what, it's a marvelous feeling when you spin kick someone in the face. It's so much different than punching someone in the face.
Yeah,
that feels good too.
Yeah, I did used to work on some kicks when I was at my parents' house, and they had like a punching bag, like a standing punching bag. It was fun to work on my kicks with that, but it's been a while since I've done that. I guess I'll just replay
it's
the
good
trailer.
stuff. It's good for you too.
But yeah, it was nothing to hate about it. It was kind of weird. I mean, I looked into the history of it since it was like presented at the end of the movie, and that was a little disappointing.
Yeah, the guy was based off of turns out to be a lot of bit crazy.
Yeah. Decisive, I did not watch
sad.
American Ninja. Actually, I didn't realize what you were talking about until I finished this movie, and it was like, recommend American Ninja. I thought you, for some reason, were saying American Ninja Warrior. And I just wasn't putting two and two together. But I've never seen
No,
American
American
Ninja.
Ninja was good. Part 2 was probably the best out of the series.
I might watch it
Yeah.
this week. We'll see. I'm trying to. It's not really that well known for me, so
No.
I'm not gonna
No,
make it a
no.
priority. But
Bloodsport was a requirement.
Hariel says Lionheart greater than Bloodsport.
And
I don't know if you heard me say that.
we'll talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about when it comes to Bloodsport, right? So there's a lot of amazing information about that movie in terms of martial arts styles, both truth that's still relative today in regards to some of those fighting styles, and a lot of fallacy. So if you fight like a majority of the people in the movie Bloodsport, the likelihood of you losing a fight is 99%. Just letting you know that now. With the exception of the Muay Thai fighter in there is still relevant today. And some of the action that Bolo Young, who was the villain in that movie, his fighting style was pretty intense too. But a majority of the other martial arts are just,
Oh shit! What just happened?
they're not for today's landscape. Something else. So you brought up the black guy with the monkey fighting style, which is a legitimate fighting
Yes.
style, by the way.
Yes.
For anyone who wants to doubt it, that's a legitimate fighting style. But yeah, I would say having the black guy do that is a little in poor taste, but it is what it is. But what's very interesting too, especially if you talk about from a cultural perspective, is the main guy, Bolo Young, was representing Korea, right? So it was supposed to be a Korean as the villain. But what's interesting is that the trainer was Korean in the movie, a legitimate Korean. Bolo Young was actually a Chinese man pretending to be a Korean, which is even more interesting because there's a lot of static and dislike between the nations of Korea and China, which I didn't know about till I went to Korea. So now, young Angel's watching all this, like, yo, this is amazing. And then old Angel's watching this, like, yo, this is amazing. However, I'm sure people get their feelings hurt watching this right now. So good. The dim mak, yo. Did anybody else try and bust up the bottom brick? Because I did when I was little.
No.
Yeah.
I can see that
so
going
stupid.
poorly.
It was terrible. But yeah, so there's a lot of the training montages were pretty good. The music is still good, iconic. And I'm glad that you like it, man. That's one of my all-time favorite movies. All-time favorite.
Yeah, I don't think I would
Love
ever.
it.
I mean, even besides like the fact that, I mean, growing up with movies like this, I mean, there's just great characters in the movie. Like we talked about Jackson, the American.
Absolutely. Yes.
The comedic flair he brought just from him reacting to everything going on, the fish out of water type of thing.
He was from Revenge of the Nerds. So I had seen Revenge of the Nerds, and I didn't see him in anything else until Bloodsport. So that was a shift. Because he was one of the jocks.
Oh yeah, the guy's like no.
Yeah, that was a.
I want to talk about
his.
Oh, continue.
Go
I'm sorry. No. It's gonna.
I was just going to say that it was kind of interesting too, because the movie, the more times you watch it, you start to realize how nuanced it is. But even the fighting styles that were being represented by the countries and the fighters from those countries, it matched. Like, America is known for boxing, right? They're not very elegant when it comes to martial arts, right? And that's what Jackson was a perfect representation of that, right? He was a boxer. He was very strong, very powerful, but he wasn't elegant, right? And then you had Jean-Claude Van Damme representing every place in Europe with that accent. You know, you know
I,
what I
I
mean?
love the flashback when he was a kid and he breaks into that
Oh,
house. And the accent is worse when he was a kid versus now.
bro, it was all terrible. Like with the fight scene with the little Japanese kid got mollywopped,
Yeah.
and then Frank is standing there with the worst looking martial arts ever, and he wins. That's back in the day. Anyway, just continue. I
But
love that movie.
like I was saying, the stuff that is great about the movie is like the characters, the camera, the shots, like this one right here. But this shot's particularly, I want to bring up the mat or that they're fighting on for the finals. What sense does it make?
Yeah, yeah,
Why? Why is it designed like that?
yeah,
I mean, you could,
yeah. 100% for looks. 100% looks.
but even then, it's just kind of like weird to look at. I don't. I mean, it did like just the storytelling of the movie. It makes sense because he trained that way, in that same like type of mat style with his when he was learning. So
Mm-hmm.
that flashback led to this making sense for how he was able to be successful here. And also when he got blinded, I like that he. I mean, it was absurd, yeah, with the yelling and stuff, but it's
Oh.
when he was fighting, it still made sense because he wasn't like going off like while he was blind, just with his eyes closed, like just like taking out the dude.
Right.
He was using the sound. He was using the environment, the ref. He was like holding onto the ref to know where he was, so he could figure out where he was. It made sense, and I liked that it made sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I enjoyed it.
And that's also legitimate. So, you know, a lot of people don't know my background, but I was a wrestler in high school, even wrestled varsity. And then I also did martial arts fighting. So I won medals in tournaments and I was an amateur MMA fighter as well. But having the eyes closed, the majority of the time when I was wrestling, same thing, eyes were closed. And then doing the MMA, when it got onto the ground, you can't see what's going on. Everything is based off of feel. So you can feel someone going for a Kimura or positioning for a triangle. So the training without being able to see, that's a very real thing. So it's the way they did the training and some of the powers you essentially make as a result that they showed you in the movie, hyperbole, but in real life, there is truth to all of that stuff that you had seen. But we even know that as gamers as well, the importance of sound, whether we realize it or not, we train ourselves that way too. Learning sound cues, hearing footsteps in a particular area or hearing a certain charge up mechanic, and then we know what the enemy is going to do. Same thing. You just can't fight on a uneven board with aspirin in your face and spin kick somebody. I don't know, man.
Is that what that
Such
was?
a great movie.
I didn't know what it was, and
That's what it looked. I just assumed it was that.
it was also unclear as to like how affected he was, especially with the yelling. I thought he might have been like blind forever, but
No.
That
You know
was-
what gets me too? The villain is standing there for like the next 3 minutes just watching him scream.
yeah,
He's like, I could kick him in the face right now. But
Exactly.
I'm gonna watch him scream. Right? I don't know, man.
But
So
I
good.
did draw. You brought up gaming. I did draw some parallels to like tournaments and stuff. Just like
Okay.
like when you go out to a tournament, and you mentioned like everybody
Mhm.
has their own style and just like the different personalities and whatnot. It's very reminiscent of like any
Same
sort of, yeah. It's
Exactly the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. And I've had this argument before too, because in the military, everybody wants to be the manly, right? And then, they want to clown you for being a gamer or whatever, or painting your toenails to match your girlfriend. Whatever, I do what I want. But the point is, there are a lot of similarities, as you said. So if you just think in terms of the amount of work that you put in for the training in order to be competitive, and then, looking at people trying to psych each other out during, especially when it's the 2D or 1v1 type games, all of that plays in. It's the same thing. It's the mentality is exactly the same. It's just how you manifest the mindset is different. So instead of pushing buttons, you might be hitting people in the face or running a race or driving a car, whatever. The manifestation of the mindset is different, but the mindset is the same.
Indeed.
Or it's not, and I'm just trying to sound cool. I'm not sure.
Regardless, if for some reason you haven't watched Bloodsport, like myself, go check it out. And even if you have, it's free on YouTube, and you got those ad blockers. You can watch it without the ads. But
It's the greatest. It's the greatest. It's one of the greatest movies ever made. It's perfect. It's the perfect beginning to any Van Damage weekend.
All right, what else we got? We can probably cut it short just for our technical issues. We didn't get into Minecraft Dungeons, your PS Now subscription.
Oh yeah. Oh, let me hit that real quick. Just that's more of like a PSA on PS Plus and PS Now for some CYA. You understand?
I don't know what CYA means.
Cover your.
Oh, okay. I do know what CYA means.
But no, something that happened to me. So I just wanted to make everybody aware is that if you sign up for a subscription, and then you have your credit card on there or whatever, it will automatically renew even if you cancel the service. So I had canceled PS Now last month, but I had to go in and manually select to disable the auto renewal. So even though it was canceled, since it was 7 screens in selecting for auto renewal, it auto renewed. And I saw the charge on my card, and I thought it was an erroneous charge till I did some research. So they got me for another month, which is okay, because I was like, oh, there's a couple games in there I want to play, so I'll just play them.
Well, I guess you can go and...
Wolfenstein 1 and 2. It's all right.
I was going to say, I guess you can go buy that Spider-Man DLC for like $10, $12 and finish that off.
I don't have enough time now. I mean, that's a good idea. I might do that later, but I don't have time now because I need to finish Bloodborne. I need to go through the Minecraft dungeons, and I think I'm going to platinum it because I'm pretty sure I'm going to platinum that game. So I have that, and then I wanted to jump into Sekiro, but I don't know, man. So many games. And at the same time, I need to make sure that I'm doing at least 4 games per month to hit my quota at the end of 2020.
Ugh. You're gonna run
It's
yourself.
rough, man.
You're gonna run yourself dry on that one.
Don't do what I'm doing. It's a terrible mistake. 20 games in the year 2020, perfect idea. 40 games, terrible idea. Terrible. It changes the way you consume the games and enjoy them. Terrible.
Yep. But yeah, you're speaking of games that you're still playing that you're never gonna finish. Minecraft Dungeons. I obviously watched you play a little bit of it. You seem to enjoy yourself.
Yeah. It's fun for very different reasons than you would expect. If somebody is looking to play the game for a challenge and feel like they've actually achieved something, I highly recommend they don't play that game.
Yeah, that's 100% me.
Don't. Yeah, it's not worth the time because it's a very simple game. So difficulty settings. So right now now that I've figured out how to play the game, every board I'm playing is on the hardest level, you know what I mean? Just to have some challenge, but there isn't much depth to it either. The game is more for something to do to have fun, to relax, to just break some things with your friends, or to play with kids. It's good. It's definitely a good game for kids. Definitely is a good game for kids.
Yeah, I really wish there was crossplay at launch, but by the time you get crossplay, and I don't know if you'll be still playing it, and I definitely probably won't still be playing it, but
No, because I'm gonna beat it. The only reason why I stopped beating, I haven't beat it already, right? Because the main campaign typically is around 4 hours, right?
Yeah.
But the reason why I haven't gone through it and actually completed the main campaign is because I wanted to do a lot of testing to see if you could create more powerful builds. What if I got higher levels? What if I went through certain areas, with different weapons, or, and then I started finding, places where I can go to do XP boosting, where I could just kill, hundreds of enemies in this one location. So I was doing a lot more testing, so I think I'm up to like level 25 or 26 already, just from the little bit of playtime I went through. But that's why I'm saying what I'm saying about the titles, that it will give you just enough challenge for you to feel like you're having fun. It's not stressful. It's just a game that you can play that looks beautiful. You don't have to stress out about, that you could play with your friends and just chill with. But if you're looking for a game that's going to offer a challenge and you're going to feel as though you accomplished something at the end of it, then Minecraft Dungeons is not the game.
Did you ever get the TNT achievement or trophy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did. So there were 2 boards that I found that I was able to do where it would continue respawning enemies. And then I figured out a combination of using a speed boost to where I was able to get, when I had got it, I had more than 10 enemies in the same area. And then now, and I was able to do it oftentimes, multiple times. But yeah, I finally got it. I thought that was gonna be the hardest one.
No, it sounds like you worked too hard on that. I got it literally on the second mission.
I did. I did.
But
that's because I wasn't using it, because I thought maybe I could put like 5 or 6 on my head, and that would be kind of cool, walking around with a stack of TNT. I don't know. I was being silly. Being silly. Anyway, yeah, I see why you're not a big fan of it.
I mean, if I have people to play with, that's fine. It's something you can just like kill some time with, have some fun with people, and just like run through. Nothing too complicated. And I've kind of been missing games. Well, I would say Battle Royale games were very like good at allowing you to communicate and just like talk to people that you're playing with about stuff, because there's downtime in those games. But
yeah,
a lot of the games I've been playing recently, or the games I try to play with people, are like always like in the zone focus. It's hard to like have time to really chat with people. So this is a good game for that. Good game for streaming, definitely.
It is. It's good, wholesome fun. It made me smile. With its simple humor, and I don't know, its levity, especially coming from Dark Souls. We only use 4 colors to color the screen. Everything kills you. We designed this from nightmares and drugs. You know what I mean?
Yes, indeed.
Easy. And then jump into Minecraft, it's all happy and floating down, giving you Slim Jims. I mean, I don't know, man. It's very different.
Slim Jims. What game were you playing?
It's very different.
Yeah, and also this week in gaming things, Destiny 2 had an event. I don't know if you saw or caught any of that. I should say, quote unquote, an event. It was, I would say it's lackluster. And I was speaking to some people who felt the same way, but then they started seeing like the developers we did a good job, guys, and they kind of changed their tune once they started seeing people like excited about the work they put in. I'm still in the boat that it was very lackluster. I don't think it should have. I think there needed to be more, because at the end of the day, all you got was a bright flash and a puff of air, and that's it. Nothing like changed. Nothing on the map changed. I mean, there might have been some like minor damage on whatever the thing is called. I forgot. The wall, the guardian.
The tower?
The tower, thank you.
We're talking about the tower? Yeah. How you not know that? Wow.
It's been a while since I've jumped on Destiny. But look, the fact that it took forever to start, like this is a time lapse of like 2 hours before anything started happening, and I have to fast forward even through that.
It was okay.
I think if you're going to try to copy somebody, this is my philosophy. If you're going to try to copy somebody and something that somebody is known for, you have to come back and do it big. You can't come out of the gates.
Wait, who'd they copy?
Well, Fortnite. This is like a Fortnite staple now, is they'll do events where like they get a bunch of people to log on, jump in a game, and then watch as things like a concert, and then sometimes they've had like stuff similar to this where like a giant explosion will occur, maybe in space, and then something will crash down on the map, and then it literally changed the entire map in Fortnite. So I don't know, just even in like common sense, like if something that big collided with a planet, it's going to change everything. I just need more.
Yeah, that's funny you say that because I was thinking the same thing actually. I was like, that's a catastrophic event right there, but what do I know? So I would like to say that I had mixed feelings about the event, but I don't. It's actually very clear. You know, I commend them on trying to do something different and the
Yes,
only reason
yeah.
why I commend them on trying to do something different is that's predicated on this probably misunderstanding that they are confined by the engine or by the by what they've created. You know, maybe they can't change too much because everything is all connected, right? So
Yeah, and
that
it's been around for a while too. Definitely engine wise, stuff like that. It's
that's what I'm
definitely
trying to think.
can make it hard to do what they're trying to do. And in that regard,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
I agree. You can commend them for trying something.
Yeah. They tried. They tried something good. So I do give them credit for that, right? And if we think about it, the potential, the fact that we were excited about the potential and we were excited as it was going through, and then if you really think about some of the things that detract from the event, then what they did was actually really good, and there's potential. There was potential there for greatness, and I've always said that about Destiny. Destiny should be the greatest video game that's ever been made, but it's not. This event was great, right? And I think it could have absolutely injected the series with some much needed adrenaline. You know, like, oh my God, these guys spent all of this time doing this. They took huge risks. They changed the face of things and the way that we understand and play this. Like, this is crazy. But they didn't. They were like, exactly as you said, like, yo, here's something in the sky. You have enough time to go ahead and make 17 pizzas and go poo. Oh, wait, there's some lasers now.
I like
okay,
how
so the lasers.
I like how we've watched this whole thing from start to finish, and it took that long to it took so long that we were able to almost end this conversation before it was done.
Yeah, I'm like, what's going on here, man? You know, and I was watching. We were playing an event in Destiny, and then we brought it up on YouTube. Myself and Dave, Hariel, and like we were watching it a little on the side while we were playing another event. But that was the thing. It took so long that there was no reason for us to just stand in the tower, right? So I'm playing another event, and then when things started really going, and you saw some action, I was like, what, maybe a minute or two worth of like legit action that had no impact. So if you have an event that has no impact, then there was really no reason to have the event in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it was I give them credit for trying something, but I do think that it was a waste of time, energy, and has actually created more problems. Right? It added just another layer of disappointment on top of the disappointment sandwich that we've been eating now since the launch of D2.
Since the launch of Destiny, really, for myself.
Yeah.
The original. But I don't know.
And that's exactly what I would say to them too. So, because what I think is necessary is know if there's anyone who's speaking to them frankly about what's going on with Destiny. There's a bunch of people who have dreams, who have ideas, and then the numbers crunchers come in, everybody in balls. Is what it seems like. That's what Destiny plays like. It's like, hey man, I would love to do this. Come over, kick them in the balls, and do this for money. And then everybody works late hours, and then they go home and eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Hi, Grandma. Oh, hold on.
Talking to stay home,
Yeah, you just cut out a little bit there, unfortunately.
Hold on, I gotta talk to Grandma.
Can I mute
Orlando,
him?
Florida.
Grandma, you could turn them on. The light, it's gonna beep because the power was off. It's okay.
No?
Yeah, no, it should turn off now.
What is that?
I'm sorry, guys. My grandma's she doesn't understand. She don't care about my stream, does it? She's more important.
The beeps are crazy
But-
or are concerning. You got to worry about that.
No, so since we're off on this tangent, is the security alarm has a battery backup. The battery backup comes on and it beeps to let you know that the main power is shut off. The main power was shut off because power went out because of the storms that are happening here because we're in hurricane season. Hashtag Florida's amazing. Move here. You know. Anyways, but yeah, Grandma, it should be okay once the power stabilizes and recharges. Yeah, don't worry. That's a good point. That's a good point. Okay. She says I have to worry because I want to eat my chicken. Like I understand, Grandma is upset because it's an electric stove.
That is a good point.
So funny. So, but that's what's going on with Destiny anyway. Is that there needs to be a frank conversation between the developers and then the people who are actually playing. There needs to be a clear understanding as to what they're trying to achieve, and then a willingness to break everything, because what they've built so far, if they were to just end the story right now and start something completely new, no one would be upset because it's so fragmented. But that's what I was hoping this because Dave was talking about it, Hariel was talking about it, and he was pretty excited to see what was going on, to happen. And then, I was like, yeah, whatever, it's nothing. Then I saw what is it called? River of Dawn, PM Dawn?
I don't know. You're asking the wrong person.
Activation of Dawn? I don't know. You saw the big thing in the sky that was supposedly going to crash into the planet and destroy all life, which is funny because it crashed into the planet, but no life was destroyed. I don't know. I guess Rasputin was supposed to stop it with the lasers, but Rasputin didn't. He basically just set it ablaze and put it into smaller pieces, but it still crashed with the planet.
The Almighty? Was that what you're talking
The
about?
Almighty? Is it called? I think it's called the Almighty. That's right.
I'm going to trust Decisive on this. He's a pretty hardcore Destiny player.
Yeah. So the Almighty was supposed to come in, and it's what they were inferring was that it's a catastrophic event, but it really didn't. So even after this whole thing, right? It's like, oh man, we all shared together like this one consciousness to watch the destruction of this thing. And then life went on as normal, like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, just go back to doing your events and stuff.
Exactly. So if you take away the entire event, Destiny would still be the same. So the way the Destiny was before and after the event is exactly the same. It was exactly the same. So that begs the question, why even waste the time on an event if the event has no impact on the trajectory of the game? So, I don't know. Anyways, Destiny's for free. So I highly recommend that if anybody's interested in playing Destiny 2, since it's for free, to play something else. Those are my thoughts.
Again.
It's not worth your time, man. I'm so angry. I'm so angry about it right now.
Hey, we got some fury.
And I keep playing it. Because it's the best game that I have to play with my friends right now. We need better games to play with friends.
That's true. I agree with that.
That's the only reason why people keep playing it. Call of Duty is just duty anyway. Who cares?
Well, it's not that bad, but I do
No,
prefer
it's
playing
actually
anything
pretty
else versus that right now, if I can.
Destiny. Ain't that right, Grandma? Destiny's trash. Destiny? This is the video game. You don't know? Okay. I don't know.
Anyway, I guess we can let you go. Help out Grandma, calm her down.
Still worries.
But what do you got going on this week?
Did you hear her?
No, I heard like an inkling or something.
She's like, I'm worried about my food. You worry about your people, I'm going to worry about my food. Oh, man. So I need to finish Bloodborne, right? So I think, man, I don't know when I'm going to play it again. I'm not even going to lie. I don't know. Maybe I should play it again some more tonight. I don't know. I need to finish Bloodborne, and I want to finish it live on stream because it was something that I started on stream, and I have new followers now who follow the channel as a result. So
I did see that.
I kind of want to finish that journey together.
You definitely got to play it some more since it's working for you.
So I want to do that, and I'm probably going to jump into the DLC. So maybe this month I won't go through as many games as I wanted, but I will be doing some more Bloodborne this week. I might do early streams. I'm not really sure. And then on Monday, I'm going to be playing some Minecraft Dungeons. Jefferson Rawls going to jump on and play with me. I don't know if I'm going to have any more, but I will have like multiple people playing Minecraft Dungeons. And I believe Tuesday, I'm going to do another special stream because it's going to be the Destiny reset for the new season. So, because there are people thinking that the new season is going to be better and it's going to somehow interact with what happened this weekend. So I'm probably in Destiny on Tuesday after the reset to see what was going on there, playing with the guys, and that might be a thing. But outside of that, I don't know what's going to be happening. It all depends on how well the streams go with Bloodborne and Minecraft. But I think those are going to be the two main games I'm going to be focused on for the rest of next. What about you, man? Do some Parappa the Rapper, maybe?
Oh, I've already played that. I would love to play it again, though. It is fun. I really want to try to start getting like these, kick, punch, soul in the mind. I don't remember the rest right now. If you want to test me, shit,
that's all everybody knows. Okay, player.
No,
okay.
My favorite is the driving one. I think it's those two. They're tied for my favorite. Oh no, you know what? No, even the reggae one is a really good one. No one ever gives the reggae one credit, but it's a damn good song.
Yeah.
In no rain or in the snow, got the funky flow. But anyway,
Oh, good, so good. Black guy doing monkey martial arts. Good.
This week I will try to finish Wander Song, since I haven't really got a chance to really play it. I want to play this game that I downloaded from the Epic Game Store for free. It's called shit. I don't remember what it's called. Some game. I won't remember it. But it looked interesting. It's got a weird, like, crude art style. It's apparently rated M for mature. So, I don't know. Something about it just interested me. I want to play that. Next Saturday.
Well, based off of that description, I'm going to be watching. I'm going to tune in.
Not right. I'm sure you will. But
terrible.
That's all I can come up with right now. I'm trying to just get through this. Saturday, I've been invited to a wedding. I don't know how that's going to go down, but it's a pandemic wedding, so I'm curious. I'm going to go out of curiosity just to see.
Well, hopefully you can practice those skills that you should be talking to people.
Oh, yeah, you missed the first part. I did tell the story of this week, so you have to watch that on the VOD.
I'll watch the replay.
Once that's put on YouTube.
Got it.
So yeah, I'm gonna do that. Might go out after this to go get some food. So maybe I'll talk to somebody then. We'll see. I'm gonna go to a Korean burger place with a friend, see what happens.
Have you been there yet?
Not to this one specifically. I do have one down the road from me that I really like. But
they have like bulgogi burgers.
They probably. I don't know. I don't know what's on their.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, you're asking me about something I don't know about.
Okay, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Korean burgers are always exciting and delicious.
That is true. But yeah, what else we got going on? That should be it for the week for me. Trying to survive another work week. We'll see what happens, but I guess that'll wrap it up. So yeah. If you are, where is it? I can't see. If you are not already following us, people, that's the wrong song. That is going to get us taken down. Better stop that. I almost played the X-Files theme.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, like I was saying, if you are not already following us on the social medias, on our channels, check us out here down below. Obviously, to my right is Trindominus. I am YourFace. Thank you for bearing with us through these technical difficulties. I mean, it still looks better than it did before. Check out the motion graphics in the background if you didn't notice. We're working on it. We're still trying to make it a show worth watching for you guys. Don't forget to watch any episode you want to see from the past on YouTube. And yeah, you guys have a good rest of your weekend. Have a good evening, good night. Play some video games, have some fun. Shout out to our friends out there protesting. You're appreciated, and be safe. And yeah, good night. Goodbye, everybody.